Good morning. We are, I guess today, yeah, it's another Appraisal Basics video. We're going to talk about, I looked it up and you can't talk about Appraisal Basics without discussing USPAP, supposedly. It's an unwritten rule. Um, USPAP is the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice. It's something that all appraisers, whether you be an art appraiser, coins appraiser, decorative arts or real estate or business valuation, it's kind of these guidance that comes from the Appraisal Foundation in Washington, D.C. Um, yeah, and today, well, I thought we would just be, we're not going to talk about all of USPAP, but we're going to talk about, one specific part over, and with the idea of, eventually talking about it all, in many years from now, concluding that project.
It's a big book, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it used to be a book, and now it's a couple long PDFs, I guess. Yeah. Or I guess they will still print it, I suppose, but I think you have to pay extra for the
As
books. Anyway, um, yeah. So today we're going to talk about well, what is USPAP anyway? So it's basically this. You want to become an appraiser. It's this course and exam that you have to take for personal property. All our experience today, we're just talking about the personal property side of that. So that's that covers appraisal of art, household contents, decorative arts, not real
furniture,
estate. Yeah,
silver, yeah,
yeah,
tangible personal property, so not the house, the things in the house.
right. Yeah, not the house, things in the house. Um, and USPAP itself, it's the way that they have it divided up. It's basically the text of USPAP is really just these. There's like a forward, a little preamble, a sort of section of definitions. They're defining these terms and these series of rules. There's an ethics rule, a record keeping rule, a competency rule, scope of work rule, and jurisdictional exceptions rule. But then I guess the letter of USPAP, the text of USPAP also includes these standards, right? So there's standards 1 and 2, which specifically relate to, I think, real property. Standards 2 and 3, I think, is appraisal review. 5 and 6 is mass appraisal. 7, 8 is personal property, and 9 and 10 is business valuation.
So we hang out in standard 7 and 8 most of the time as personal property appraisers.
Right. Yeah, and one of them pertains to the development of your appraisal. So kind of like, in a way, kind of like researching, and the other is reporting. So in a way, they're kind of divided between, you know, in a way, I guess that's a fancy way to say the research phase and the reporting phase.
The writing phase, yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we spent some time in standard 3 too for appraisal review, which I know is something you do a lot of, so
Right. Yeah. Someday we'll talk about that. We'll talk.
future video.
Exactly. But I just wanted to mention that that's what USPAP is. It's just those rules. It's the front matter, the rules, and these standards. But then they also publish all this other stuff that's technically not USPAP, the advisory opinions, which is really just guidance. And they make a point of saying it's not an interpretation; it's just guidance. And what else is in there? Oh, and the FAQs. FAQs. All of this is very relevant to kind of delve into and kind of familiarize ourselves with. But it's technically not a part of USPAP. It's just guidance. And then you have all these long student manuals for when you take the classes and the refresher classes.
Mhm, and every 2 years, we have to take a refresher class in order to stay what's called USPAP compliant.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think we're both due pretty soon.
Yeah,
In
winter.
a couple months. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta get that registered, but so and then USPAP didn't exist until the 1980s. For a long time, appraisers were not working under USPAP, but it came into being in the 1980s, really starting in real estate, and then it's slowly over time become the standard for all appraisers, including personal property appraisers like us.
Yeah. I think that the origins had something to do with like an assessment, whatever was specific to the savings and loan banking
Crisis.
crisis in the sort of late 80s or whatever. That would be an interesting future video, like the kind of history there. So is all, whatever happened with, I don't know enough about that, those.
Before our time.
Right, yeah, yeah. We were alive, but it was, yeah.
Not appraising quite yet.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So as an outcome of this crisis, that was, these standards for valuing assets were developed, and over time have become more and more increasingly important, and will certainly not going away. And if anything, standards will continue to get, more and more. Um,
Years.
yeah, it'll just increase. They're not going to roll back. But it's good because it helps, maintain public trust in what appraisers do, and it's really good guidance. And there's a lot of, it covers everything. There's not really too much. USPAP pretty much, it's the sort of the final word. But a lot of times people refer to it as the minimum standards, and then which is good. So if you're USPAP compliant, you're you're doing the minimum in a way. So, but that's meant to sound good, not bad.